Chapter 41: The Problem of Evil, the Unbearable Lightness of Life, and the Focus on the Everyday. A first warning. All the people in this book are fictional. All claims, regardless of the topic, are just claims. Some are rooted in empirical facts, while others are pure imagination. My goal is to balance between vision and reality, between fiction and fact, in such a way that the audience can recognize themselves and engage with the multitude of ideas and inventions. The book has no ambitions to preach an overarching goal, but instead questions accepted truths. In this way, in a Socratic manner, I leave the rest to the audience. Benny Noppert Holgersson was not alone. He was socially engaged, participating in seminars and discussions, particularly on how local conditions should be organized to benefit as many people as possible. This strong and good will to make life as good as possible for everyone around him had been evident for many years. Neighbors and colleagues could see this. And Holgersson was very close to receiving the Fire Soul award at the big sports gala, broadcast every year from the large mountain hall in Gjøvik. Gjøvik is a relatively small town just north of Oslo. They have a somewhat skeptical view of life but function as one of the best communities in this vast country we sing about, our homeland, Norway. Despite Holgersson's social engagement, his own home was confronted with an extremely abnormal situation. The common social democracy that was preached in the household was challenged by his son's sudden wealth. Odd Roppert tried to downplay it. He had received countless questions from friends and classmates. How did you do it? Behind every question, there was another one. Can you show me how you managed this? Then came the next step. Stick with people who are doing well, people who succeed on this world's stage. Odd Roppert got a loyal fan club. He immediately realized this was all due to the money he had earned. One morning, having breakfast with selected healthy fruits and cereal on his plate, he was suddenly massively disappointed, and a sadness took over his soul. He stood up and walked into the living room. There, he had a small corner dedicated to his grandfather. A crucifix of Jesus on the cross hung there, along with some pictures of his grandfather's contemporaries, all with smiles on their faces. The large gap between Holgersson's external social life and the actual home life with his family became unmanageable. At the same time, his son moved out to the capital, Oslo. The house felt empty. But his daughter, Elena, still lived at home, and she was always a ray of sunshine. At the breakfast table, Holgersson's wife had already taken her place. She was a rare beauty, not only in appearance but also intellectually. She had already made a rapid career in the energy sector, which was half state-owned and half private. She knew exactly how to handle large, complex bundles of numbers, huge transmissions of calculations and analyses in a constantly heated energy market. She was incredibly intelligent and came up with solutions that greatly benefited the company. After a couple of years as a super worker, she was naturally promoted to corporate leader. She accepted the offer. A large airy office awaits here on the top floor, with views of the Norwegian Opera, the inner Oslofjord, and Akershus Fortress. She had agreed to an annual salary of about 30 million Norwegian kroner. She had achieved this on her own but thanked her mother and father for their faithful and caring support throughout her upbringing. This did not go unnoticed. Nora Holgersson was named Woman of the Year in 2025. At home, Benny Noppert Holgersson struggled. He had switched careers from journalist to music teacher. What in the world? Yes, Benny NH had always played the piano. He had developed to a certain level, could play small minuets by Mozart, some waltzes by Chopin, and even a couple of Beethoven sonatas. The local music school needed a substitute piano teacher, so he was asked and entered this pleasant environment with music-loving colleagues and eager to learn students. By the way, Not all of them were eager to learn, but the few who were willing to practice achieved good results. House concerts and Christmas and summer concerts followed with nothing but joy. Now, both his wife and son had become incredibly wealthy. What about Alina? And what about his own future as a music teacher? No one becomes rich being a music teacher. Holgersson's social democratic worldview had changed beyond recognition. Everything he had adopted throughout his life had been distorted. Suddenly, an abundance of money became the big problem. A social democrat drowning in money,